Alrighty everybody, welcome back. It is presently January 8th of 2024, and considering that there's been a continuous battle between Ryan Reynolds and the remainder of the creatives behind Deadpool against the higher-ups over at Disney over numerous inventive contrasts, and Disney's push for DEI, which is just unleashing devastation for the third demonstration of the film, it likewise made this gradually expanding influence for a significant number of the undertakings from Wonder's Stage 7, and precisely the way in which Ryan Reynolds has been responding to the continuous show by in assuming you're new and like this video to see future updates. So we know that 2023 truly crashed and burned when it comes to Wonder Studios, which by the way is run by Disney, and the Wonder box office catastrophe was most certainly one of the most awful disappointments ever. When it comes to the whole MCU, as a matter of fact, it did have the most obviously terrible MCU opening of truth be told all time, and that is not a decent look, particularly for Chief Nia D'Aosta. It's precisely why they canned her from various undertakings in the MCU guide for Stage 6 and past. Currently, it's fascinating. Pretty much all of this has a ton to do with what Ryan Reynolds as of late did against Disney because of the continuous Deadpool show occurring among himself and those over at Disney truly pushing these plans right. We realize that Swayer is a liar. He has said on numerous occasions that he doesn't esteem philosophy over workmanship, which incidentally it is quite flipped over. He really esteems philosophy over craftsmanship. That is precisely exact thing he's doing with numerous of the tasks connected with Star Wars Wonder, and all the more. Anyway, this is where things get fascinating in light of the fact that with all the Deadpool show just deteriorating for both Ryan Reynolds and the Disney hubs, one significant advancement needs to do with new bits of insight how Ryan Reynolds as of late expensed Disney billions of dollars with the fate of the Wonder universe. Incidentally, after numerous contentions that Ryan had with the heads over at Disney, including Sway Bigger, one vital update to this continuous circumstance is that Ryan as of late turned down numerous projects that Disney knew they totally required him to make. Those projects fill in as Deadpool, otherwise known as Swim Wilson, was wanted to be a focal side character for the majority impending Freak Time projects from Wonder's Phase 7. Now, Ryan Reynolds supposedly currently left from 5 activities in absolute that are presently untitled undertakings anyway, are focused to extend the Freak Time course of events. Large numbers of these comprised of television shows, and 2 of which were thought of significant film discharges for the years to come. Disney investigators projected that all of these undertakings together would have absolutely accumulated billions of dollars overall in the cinematic world, and for the evaluations through Disney, in addition to with Disney presently reassessing these untimely projects that plan to incorporate Deadpool in different ways with the return of Hugh Jackman as well as Wolverine again in various appearances. Both Iger and Kevin Feige are now totally rebuilding the MCU for Stage S with a spick and span approach, since Ryan is currently simply joined to a modest bunch of impending movies and network programs. Incidentally, numerous of these ventures were intended to grow the exemplary X-Men characters that numerous fans grew up with. However, Disney needed to drive their DEI plan into these movies and programs. This is when Ryan had numerous contentions about its bearing for Stage S and what lies past, and chose to leave them altogether. Another project that Ryan deserted was going to be a task that would likewise zero in on a adored expense side person, with Swim Wilson turning into an optional person some way or another. Now thunderings report that this would have been centered around ploy anyway. Imaginative contrasts, as a matter of fact, rised out of those tasks also, both because of Weave Buyer's fixation on zeroing in on DEI and story contrasts that Ryan disagreed with. At this point, Disney is frantically reconsidering their technique on the best way to deal with and extend the freak period course of events of the MCU altogether to save Wonder Studios, as thus Weave Iger plans to fire various representatives to make Wonder Studios a more limited-sized studio to decrease spending. So folks, let me stop here fast before I get to the large end about this. Now we discussed how Disney will enter its third period of the expense control plan by the second quarter of this current year, alright? So that fundamentally is going to comprise of thousands of firings across the board. We're discussing all their plans of action, their divisions as a whole over at Disney, not simply restricted to Wonder Studios. We're discussing all together here, and on top of that, a Disney cleanse, essentially the evacuation of lots of content on Disney, in addition to while raising rates for both their non-promotion and promotion plans, which truly doesn't seem like an arrangement by any means, right? Who might join for Disney in addition to assuming they're eliminating content and raising rates? It makes positively no sense to me, and That precisely why a substantial evidence bounce Iger is a maniac and has no clue about what he's doing. Over at Disney as chief, so again, this is another prime model that Ryan Reynolds is simply taking care of up with Disney's course of the MCU, particularly for Stage 7, which was going to enormously grow the X-Men. Period, or the Freak Time, so to talk both on film and for TV programs on Disney, in addition to they truly needed to make it like a truly serious deal with regards to the Wonder Universe, significantly greater than whatever we have gotten in past stages with various times, so to discuss the Wonder Universe. So it's intriguing about this further. This is where things start to get somewhat more serious, as simply in light of this Ryan is, as yet, chipping away at Deadpool, X-Men spin-off film, and one MCU stage network program out together, which is presently just a small bunch, a portion of the projects he was eliminated from by Disney, others of which he left, as we discussed here, from the most significant ones for Disney and what Sway Iger wanted to do by delivering them for the later piece of the 10 years. So fundamentally what happened is that Disney's by and large intend to grow the Freak Time furthermore, truly sort of shoehorning Swim Wilson, otherwise known as Deadpool, in there for, clear worth and to increment box office tickets, ticket deals and so forth. Subscribe supporters on Disney, in addition to they truly needed to make Deadpool make a part of appearances and a ton of celebrated appearances in large numbers of these activities reliably. And I would rather not say that that would have been abuse, an abuse of the person. However, in the event that you play it right, it tends to be finished. However, I feel with Deadpool, it's ideal to sort of play things, by with that character, simply take as much time as necessary with the person, just use him as required. Don't shoehorn him into basically each and every Wonder-related project in Stage 7. That is exactly the way in which I see things, and it's the reason the person can remain esteemed in the event that you simply utilize the character shrewdly. So what's fascinating about this further is that Bober, once again, you can perceive that he gets scared by these things, the way that Ryan left and needed nothing to do with these activities any longer prompted different scratch-offs of MCU Stage 7 tasks, since they knew, besides the fact that they required Ryan as a co-essayist to make the humor work for Deadpool. However, they required him as an entertainer to make the genuine person work, and that just was not working for them with regards to Stage 7. So presently, you have not just the Kang tradition getting totally modified due to the terminating of Jonathan Majors. However, you're likewise getting a great deal of tasks for Stage 7 getting totally rearranged on account of Ryan Reynolds leaving a large number of projects according to the Deadpool show, and all the difficulty that Disney's been causing. So, in any case, I couldn't want anything more than to hear what all of you need to say regarding this beneath in the remarks, and in the event that you all partaken in the substance for now, make sure to drop approval for this video to help the channel, and I will catch later.